This customer didn't think we could clean his moldy driveway. Boy, was he wrong. In today's episode, we are discussing how to wash a driveway. Now, that's pretty simple, guys. We at Mr. Bubbles, we utilize a 5-step approach, and I'll put it up here on the screen for you guys. Number one is you wanna use some sort of pre-treatment. Number two, we're gonna come through and do what's called cutting, or often referred to as well as white tipping. Then we're going to surface clean it, then rinse, and then finally we will post treat it. And this, by the way, is how we utilize this same process to do all of our concrete cleaning. So this will be very useful for you guys. Now, the solution that I'm using here is a 3.5% because I don't know if you can tell really good here from the video, but this is aggregate concrete, so you know it's very porous, and you saw from the beginning there, I mean, it is in bad shape. These folks said that they've been living here for 18 years and they have never had this done. And every outdoor organics that you can think of is on this driveway. Everything from lichen bacteria to moss to mold, and you name it. So, and because it's aggregate, it's very porous, so it's deeply embedded in there. So without a pre-treatment of some kind, yeah, you're not going to be able to do a driveway like this and make it look professional. So like I said, 3.5% solution I'm using here. And if you don't know what that means, I will put up on the screen here for you guys our episode 10, which is where we talk about the chemicals and all that. We break down for you the essential chemicals of the pressure washing business, everything from your rust removal to your degreasers and your SH. And what I love about that is there's a batch mixing calculator in there for all new guys. And with that, you're going to be able to make your own house mix. You'll be able to mix your own bleach. And one thing here to know, guys, my camera died on me and I had to switch batteries during the cutting phase, but you see the lines that I made all the way through here from the very beginning. So basically what you want to do with cutting is you want to switch to your white tip, and then you want to go all around and create a box for yourself, a 2-3 inch gap between the concrete in the lawn. You do not want to run your surface cleaner over the grass because the mud will get in there and clog up your tips and stuff. So basically with the cutting, what you're doing is you're eliminating spaces from the concrete that the pressure, that the surface cleaner is not going to be able to do. And like I said, I had done that, but I did it off camera because I didn't even know the camera was off when it died on me. So the bottom line is you want to make sure you do that, because also as you're coming through, you're cleaning out the cracks, because the surface cleaner does not do that great of a job when it comes to cleaning out, like, for example, you know, pieces of grass and weeds and stuff like that from the cracks. And so I went ahead and pressure washed all the cracks in this concrete and eliminated all the spaces. And then you see here that makes the surface cleaning that much easier for you guys. So, you know, like I said, you know, everything that we do at Mr. Bubbles, it's all about a system, right? And you become systematic by doing everything the same way all the time. And before we go any further, let's talk real quick about how we got this job. And how we got this job is something that I don't think I've ever mentioned on my channel before, and that's the Valpak coupons. Guys, we get about 50 to 75 of our monthly accounts through Valpak. We've been using Valpak, I want to say this is our 7th year. It might be our 8th. But it's definitely right around there. We've been using them for an extremely long time. And, you know, Valpaks work really awesome. The thing is, and I don't want to go into great detail here how, you know, how to do that properly. But, you know, I've been mentioning this. I have a series coming out in the next week and a half or so. It's a marketing series. It's going to be a 9-part episode where we're going to talk about all the different forms of marketing. And Valpak's going to be in there. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do that properly, because it's a big investment. Like for us, it's a $3,800 payment that you make every month. I mean, just think about it. That's a mortgage. You know what I mean? So most of you guys are not going to be able to afford that. But I'm going to show you and teach you through the numbers and my analytics and all that, how that can work for you. So, but anyway, the point is, this customer was a brand new customer to us, and we got them from a Val pack. The Val pack came with a $50 coupon, but check this out. Guys, at this house, I did the house, I did the driveway, what you see me doing here. I did the sidewalk, I did that, you know, off camera. And then this is going to be like 3 or 4 episodes away. I did their deck in the back. Guys, this was a $1,700 job that came from a $50 coupon. And I was here for 3 hours, 3.5 hours to get this job done. And you see here, I'm by myself. So, you know, that's a very profitable job that came from a $50 coupon. So back to the task at hand here, guys, how to wash a driveway. You know, now I'm coming through with my surface cleaner, and surface cleaning, by the way, there is no, I mean, it's not brain surgery. There is really nothing to it. You just have to make sure you go slow. You can't move very fast with the surface cleaner because it's not going to do a very good job at rinsing everything out. And you just have to watch. Your eye has to be right there in the back of that surface cleaner. Make sure you got everything. And then you see me how I went back and forth. If you miss something, you just hit it a couple times there with your surface cleaner. And the surface cleaner that we're using is something that is, you know, a staple of the industry, 20-inch surface cleaner. We do have it in a link in our description down below if you want to get that. We have, I want to say like 8 or 9 of these. I mean, we use them quite a bit, and we get them on Amazon if you are interested in picking that up. So anyway, let's get into what I really want to talk to you guys about. And it's something that, for whatever reason that is, it's been really on my mind lately. And that is the question of, when should you go full time? I know a tremendous amount of you that watch my videos. I interact with a lot of you guys through email. And what I've been noticing is that a lot of you guys are just fairly new to the wash game. And, you know, when I went through this process, you know, I wish I would have had someone like me, a coach, a mentor that could, you know, coach me up on some things. And so I want to give you guys a little bit of insight here, because now I could sit here and tell you how I did it, because remember, I was an employee and I left my old job to be able to open up my own pressure washing business. But here's the deal. My situation is extremely unique to me, as your situation is very unique to you. No two situations are alike. So what I've done, guys, is I've come up with something. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a formula, but I've come up with 5 different phases that basically, if you see yourself, it's kind of like a timeline. If you see yourself going through these 5 phases and you've gone through all 5 of them, that's when you know you're ready to quit your job and jump into the wash game full time. Now, I didn't come up with this, you know, because I read a blog or I heard somebody talking about it and I thought it was a great idea. No, this is something that I drew from my own personal journey, my own personal experience, because I went through these 5 phases. So let's jump right in. Because you guys can see here, I mean, doing concrete cleaning is not that difficult to do. And, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. And you can follow along here with me as I talk to you about these 5 phases. So, again, guys, as I talk about this, see where you are in this timeline. And, again, if you have gone through all 5 phases, I guarantee you, guys, I guarantee you, you are stuck in one of these phases right now. And when you get to the 5th phase, if you are there right now, then you're already at the 98, 99% ready to go ahead and quit your job and jump into the wash game. So let's go over it. Number 1. So the number 1 phase is what I call research and development. Now, a tremendous, I would say, man, I probably 60, 70% of you are in this phase right now. That's why you are watching this video, for example, right? Research and development is when you are simply scouring, you are looking for information like a madman. You're watching videos, how-to videos. You're coming up with equipment lists. You are learning how to make your own rig. You're learning everything that is the pressure washing business. You're even learning the lingo, right? So you know what, for example, downstreaming is. You know what soft washing is. You know the difference between pressure washing and power washing. So, you're basically diving into every single day. You are learning more things about the industry in order for you to become a master at that industry. So this is research and development where you're basically gathering knowledge for yourself before you jump into it, right? So you're researching videos, for example, how to do a house wash, how to do a concrete wash, how to do a fence wash. The other day, I posted a video, an episode where we did a mossy roof, and so with the roof washing. So you guys are in this phase. You're just learning about the business, right? Now, as you learn about the business and you become more, I would say, you start to fall in love and you become passionate about the business. The next step is you're thinking to yourself, okay, I want to do this. Let me start getting my money, my capital together. And that's number 2, building capital. So what you're going to do in this phase is one or two things. Either you're going to save money to buy a rig somehow. Either you're going to build it yourself, or you're going to buy a rig from somewhere, maybe on Marketplace, maybe from one of the professional guys like Cody that sells rigs. And the bottom line is, with the building this capital, is you can also do it on credit, right? So that's the second thing. Either you're going to do it cash, you're going to buy it cash, or you're going to do it on credit. But either way, you're going to do this step little by little. So I'll give you an example of how I did it. So I was like, one week I bought a hose. One week I bought a hose reel. The other week I bought, some tips. The other week, I remember the first time I bought a J-rod. That was pretty cool to hold a J-rod in my hand for the first time. I thought that was pretty cool. So, that's the bottom line is after you've done so much research and you're in love with the idea and you like the cash flow aspect of the business and you think you have potential to do this business, then what you're going to do is you're going to start taking actionable steps towards building your own rig system of some kind. Okay. Now, as you go through that phase, okay, so you've ordered a bunch of equipment. Now you're putting your rig together. Now you've gotten to the point where you've bought everything you need. Now you're buying backup stuff. You have a backup hose. You have a backup J-rod. You have backup parts. And then the next step is you are really, let's say, after you've acquired all of that equipment, you're going to start investing in marketing of some kind. And of course, marketing and equipment and all of this stuff, you are already researching that stuff in the first phase anyway. You see what I'm saying? So you went through building the capital, you researched and developed, you built your capital, so you got basically your cash together. Then you started acquiring equipment. Now you are investing in marketing so you can grow. And we've talked about multiple forms of marketing here in this business. For you guys that are new guys, and the 3 that you want to focus on when you're new, especially when you're new, is you want to make sure your Google My Business is up. You want to wrap your tailgate and get a magnet on your truck. You want to get some fiber rounds, and then finally you want to get about 100-yard signs, so you can put those out in certain neighborhoods. So as you're doing all of that, okay, so you've done the research development, you built some capital, you acquired some equipment. Now you start ordering marketing. You got your logo in place. You probably already have your website, your Facebook up. So in this phase is you're starting to kind of like a tree. You're starting to put roots out, marketing roots out. And that's what you want to do, right? You don't want to go overboard and do 15, 20 forms of marketing when you're new. Like I said, stick to 3 or 4. Your Google My Business, you're going to get 6x9 5-arounds, a magnet or a wrap for your tailgate, and some yard signs. That's it. That's going to be enough for you to pick up a bunch of houses while you're doing this part-time. So now your rig is ready to go. You've done a bunch of research. You've watched all of my videos at least 2 or 3 times, and you've taken notes, and you're ready to jump in. Everything's good. You start to do some marketing. You're picking up, of course, especially when you're new, you're going to start with the people you know, your neighbors, your friends, family members, so you can jump in and get some experience. So you're going through all of this. Now, the marketing is phase 4, right? So you've already gone phase 1, 2, 3. Now, the 4th phase, you feel confident, and you start to see that you're picking up customers. And remember, guys, this is while you have a full-time job, right? So you're doing this. Like in my case, I used to be off. My 2 days, dedicated days off was Wednesday and Sunday. So on those 2 days off, this is what I was doing. I was learning how to build my rig. I was building capital. Then little by little, I acquired all of the equipment. Then I started investing in marketing. Like the very first marketing thing that I bought, I remember they're not even around anymore. There used to be a local print shop here, like a mom and pop type print shop. And I had them make me my first business card. And guys, I didn't even have any customers yet. At that point, I want to say I was like, man, 6 months away. 5, 6 months away from even launching my business. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, so after the marketing, you got the marketing together. The 5th phase of this timeline is what I call paycheck for paycheck. What do I mean by that? So let's say on whether you have 2 days off, 3 days off, whatever days off you have, let's say after you've gone through this whole process and you're out there and you're putting in the work and you're getting customers, when in your 2 or 3 days off, when you're doing pressure washing, if what you're making is a number anywhere near or above what your normal paycheck is, and you're doing that on a consistent basis, when I say consistent, at least for 3 weeks, then you can go ahead and quit your job. That's what I did. This is the formula that I used. I was making right around $1,400 a week in my job. And, you know, so every 2 weeks, it was like a $2,800 paycheck. And I got to a point where just on Sunday, on Wednesday, washing houses, just in those 2 days, eventually, I started making more money in those 2 days than my paycheck. Then I put in my 2 weeks, and that's when I jumped in. So again, guys, this is like a timeline that you can follow. And I guarantee you right now, you listening to this, you are in one of these areas right now. And you need to progress through this slowly. And when you get to that point where your paycheck is the same, if you're there right now, maybe you're making more money than you are at your regular job. So that's what you want to do. That's how you're going to know that you have the potential to be great in this business. Okay. So back to the task at hand here, guys. After the surface cleaning, you saw how much muck was on that driveway. And then even with the surface cleaning, the pre-treating and all of that, I was only still able to knock this down by like, man, I want to say like 85%. And I mean, it was still 15% dirty. The stuff was just so embedded in there. And that's what your post-treatment is for. And by the way, guys, if you want my post-treat formula for concrete, I have no problems with sending that to you. All I need you to do is go in the description below. You will find my email down there. Email me. If you email me, I will send you my formula for that. You see in that pump sprayer, it's almost full. I think I ended up using about half of it, and that's a 2-gallon pump sprayer, which is in the description below also, because we ordered that on Amazon also. So I will gladly help you guys out and send you that. So that's what I was doing here. I was just going through and touching up all the areas that were still a little grimy, a little black, a little green. and making sure that's in there really good. And again, this post-treatment, what it's going to do, it's going to sit in there. It's got a little bit of SH in it, so it's going to be able to kill those organics. But that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you coming to my channel and watching this how to wash a driveway video. I also highly recommend you guys watch the next one as well. Guys, in that episode, we're going to be discussing all the pros and cons and the benefits of running your own pressure washing business. Also, if you would like to send me any questions, you can find my email in the description below. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. And by the way, I answer all of my emails. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.